Obviously, it must have been a good couple of weeks since Tokyo, but statistically, you're one of the strongest people at London. Does that put you in good stead for this weekend, or is that not thinking about that?
I don't think it's a bad statistic. Ultimately those stats also came from Gen 2 when we were also very successful here on a completely different circuit. But right now we are in good form. The car's behaving well. So we just need to try and continue this and make no mistakes and work together with the team and make something work well.
In terms of preparations, is it full force qualifying to make sure you're up the grid and rather than race prep? Do you think that's the way that it has to go, or how do you manage both?
No, I think qualifying is super important. I think that's the most important part of the weekend. If we can try and make the duels, then ultimately I think we've made our life a lot easier. But right now it's just focus on practice, keep sticking to the process of what we've worked on over the past sort of 18 months or a year, and making sure we're there when it matters.
Lastly from me, is there a way that you can simplify races in terms of strategy, so if you do qualify well, how simple could you make it so that it is easy to execute?
Honestly, there isn't really a simple way right now. With the pit boost race, it's very complex. We have to obviously drop 50 seconds back, which is when people can then get creative. I think race 2 is generally, if you qualify at the front, you can stay there the whole race. You might lose a few positions, but you never really put yourself outside the points. Whereas with the pit boost race, at some point you have to drop 50 seconds, and that's when it becomes a little dangerous.
Right, best of luck for this weekend. Thank you.
You're right, Mitch. I feel like we've been here before. Final 2 races of the season. You got a fair shot at the championship. What needs to happen this weekend to make sure it doesn't go the same way as the last few times?
Just do the opposite than the last few times, I guess. Look, it's a venue where we're good at, but we've made a meal of it in the past. So hopefully learning from those mistakes. My side as well, team side. So I think ultimately we're feeling strong. We've had a good year. So try and learn from those other mistakes and where we've missed out and just try and execute some good races. So we need to be fast. That's that's the most important. And then this is going to be one of the strategies. So we need to be just clear and concise in our decision making and hopefully we can pull off two good ones.
Do you feel that the fact that it is only 2 points, that it is one of your best shots at a title, that you're only 2 points away from Jake?
I think so. Obviously, 2 years ago, there was still a good shot as well. But, as I said, hopefully we've learned from those mistakes. We can be stronger this time from a strategic point of view. There's more guys in it as well. There's say technically 4. There's probably obviously mathematically more, but realistically there's probably only 4. So there's more guys in the ring. So ultimately feeling good. But whoever wins this is has to really nail it this weekend, and hopefully that's me.
Yeah, and it is a bit of a side story now because of the whole championship pressure. But this is obviously your last weekend as well with Jaguar after 10 years. You've been there for so long. How emotional will this weekend be?
Yeah, it's going to be massively emotional, and hopefully we can finish off with good emotions and kind of close this chapter with the team on a high. So that's what I'm really pushing for. That's what I'd love to do. And regardless, it's going to be emotional, or even now to think this will be my final weekend in these colours, but kind of makes me want it a little bit more to try and close my journey out the best way possible.
Right, cheers, Mitch.
So we're here, championship finale weekend. How are you feeling, just within yourself?
I'm feeling good, ready for it. We put ourselves in a good situation where everything is in our own hands, approaching the last weekend and fighting for all the championships. The manufacturer one we secured, teams and drivers is open, and it's pretty close. So we need a good performance, a strong weekend, and we try to make the most out of it.
I know when you won your championship here, the Saturday drive was immense. Like, it was so good. I know it's a different race that we got with Pit Boost, but does that give you any confidence that you've been strong here before, so you just rinse and repeat if you can?
Yeah, I mean, we've been strong here in the past, even though I feel like Jaguar has been a little bit better around here in London. Nevertheless, we are up for the fight, and we've proven that also 2 years ago that it was a head-to-head performance in the race, and small details then made the difference. Starting from later onwards in practice, we try to focus on making the car as quick as we can. Having a good qualifying is important, starting somewhere in the top 5. Good strategy, and making the right decisions and the right calls.
Best of luck for this weekend, thank you. I suppose mentality-wise, you've kind of been saying it, but you're in a position where you've got nothing to lose. Does that take the pressure off and allows you to maybe be a bit more aggressive in the races?
It takes the pressure off. I mean, I'm not going to force any aggression at the same time, so I think when you do that, the things often go wrong. But I think it's just about being focused and really focusing on just doing the best job we possibly can. And if we do that, maybe we can do well. If not, then maybe not.
Yeah, talk a bit about qualifying. Do you reckon it's full focus for qualifying to make sure that you get it right rather than focusing too much on race pace?
Yeah, it should be. I mean, qualifying should be the most important bit, but at the same time, with the pit stop, less important. But I think qualifying will be really important. We'll definitely put a lot of focus on it.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
How you've been going into London? What do you put expectation for yourself in the next 2 rounds? Because obviously you are still pretty much in contention and you've got 2 podiums so far. What are your thoughts on it?
I've got no special expectations. In Formula E, everything is so unpredictable that it's very difficult to set yourself like any goals prior to a race weekend. It's been quite an okay, let's say, race weekend last year for us here in London. We proved to be actually quite competitive. So yeah, it's going to be the same this year, and let's see what can happen.
Obviously, you've done a lot of groundwork this season, and you've done really well. Are you already looking forward to next season? Or?
I'm looking forward, for this race weekend first, and then next year we will see what happens. There's been quite a lot of work done in the last 3 years to reach actually this point where you can see Mahindra being consistently, let's say, competitive. I think that this is down to the hard work and dedication of all the engineers, and I really hope that it can stay like that, for the future, mainly for the team.
And of course, learning from your previous race in London, how are you going to apply that to the next 2 races?
Every race is different. Obviously, there's kind of like trends that you can see here on this particular track. Experience helps actually, and but the problem is that it depends a lot on usually the races. They pan out a lot depending on what the leaders are doing, and this is something that you will discover when you start racing. So it's everything to discover. It will probably be quite chaotic, so it will be a matter of staying out of issues and contacts. From there, I hope that we can do that.
And also, how's your mindset going that you are still pretty much in contention? Do you feel like you're pressure enough to do that?
No, I'll just try to do my best. No special feelings.
Awesome. Thank you so much and good luck.
And your first full season with Jag, how you found it?
It's been amazing. I surprised myself with how quickly we all got up to pace. It's changing teams is an extremely difficult task, and I was able to do it that fast just because of the people surrounding me in the team, a lot of talented mechanics, engineers, management, and I'm just loving it. I'm excited for the future. I'm sad it's over. I think was one of the years that I felt the most competitive, and unfortunately that we had a lot of days where we couldn't control the outcome and lost a lot of points. So in a way, I'm sad that there are not a couple more weekends, because I really believe we have the pace to fight for this championship. But in another way, it's been amazing sharing the team with Mitch, which is a driver that I get on very well with, and obviously him having a real shot at the championship here this weekend. It's a lot to play for, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, is that something that you're going to not play second fiddle to Mitch? Because obviously he has a very, very realistic shot at winning the title. But is it back in the mind? Because you are mathematically in title contention, but if the top four don't get great results and you get a win on Saturday, then you're thrown straight back into it. Is that something that you've got to keep in mind, or are you just going to make sure that Mitch gets the support that he needs this weekend?
Those two scenarios don't match together. If the top four are not in the points and I win, then there's nothing I can do to help him. But if we're both in the top four, then there's things I can do to help him. So that's what we'll do.
All right, cheers, Antonio.
Hi, Nick. Final race of the season. How are you feeling? You've been very consistent this season with 4 podiums and 1 win. How are you feeling so far?
It's been a very up and down season, I would say. Very happy with all the podiums. But yeah, we'd like to get some more, so let's see what we can do this weekend.
And obviously, you're also pretty much in contention for the World Championship. Do you feel pressured to do that, or do you feel pressured to do that when you're still in contention, or do you just feel like you need to do your best in the next 2 rounds?
Yeah, I think I'm a bit far out of it, so the championship's not really on my mind at all. I just want to get some more podiums, and if we can have another win in this Excel Centre, it'll be pretty cool.
And how are you going to aim for the free practice today? What are you going to try and see for the qualifying?
Yeah, just going to go through some different setup options. I think car performance at this circuit is really important to make sure you can have good pace in the races and start at the front. So we'll try some things in free practice, tune the car up, and see how we go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend. Obviously, how you've been going to London, have you got any expectation for yourself in terms of winning? You are still pretty much in contention with 116 points. So what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's a finale like other years that can, always await with surprises. You never know until the very end. So we're just going to try and maximize our own potential. Hopefully come away with as many points as possible. There's a team's championship to play for. There's a driver's championship that even, like you say, I have theoretical chances. Maybe they are not super realistic, to be very honest. I need a bit of a miracle to make that happen. But the team's championship is very much possible. So, let's hope we can make that happen for Porsche. And then we'll see, where we stand on Sunday.
And how are you going to strategically build up your way through the field? Because obviously qualifying will be so important in London. Are you something that you want to focus on?
Yeah, for sure. Already in Tokyo, qualifying was relatively important compared to other events. Here, maybe even more so. But even so, you always see people still making something happen from non-optimal starting positions. So, you always have to make sure that you have a good race car as well. But clearly, yes, first of all, the focus is on qualifying well, and then we take it from there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Hi, Nick. How are you feeling going to the final race of the season?
Good. The season has gone by quickly. I think we've had a decent run. We're in a position to finish in a good place in the team championship. So hopefully we can score good points and do something, well for the team.
Obviously, you've done really well. You've done all the groundwork this season. You've got 1 podium and 2 wins, and you are still pretty much in contention for the World Championship. Do you feel pressured to do that?
I don't consider myself being in contention, but I think it kind of shows that we've had a good run and good season. But the final classification is still not done, so we still have a weekend to go, and we need to make sure that we do everything we can to finish it on a high. But it's definitely been a good one.
And obviously, this is a circuit that you are comfortable with. And how are you gonna make your way through the field in the next 2 races?
First of all, we'd like to qualify in front, so we have track position, and then we have to execute from there. The races here are quite chaotic, quite volatile, so we do the best we can, and then we'll see where we end up.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nick. Good luck.
It's a bit unexpected, this. Very kind of last minute. You decided this is it. Can you tell us a little bit about the decision? We know that there's partly world endurance involved, but how are you feeling coming into what is now your last 2 races as a full-time Formula E driver?
Yeah, it's an ongoing discussion we've had for a long time, and at some point we thought, is it better to try to make the decision before London? But it's a discussion. To be honest, it's a discussion that we've had for the last 4 years, because we never knew with the calendars and stuff like that. So ultimately, as I often said, I feel like I'm not going to be on the grid next year, not because of the right reason, but because normally you're not on the grid because you're too slow or because you're too old or because you retire. But I'm not going to be on the grid because I've got too many jobs, and obviously with WEC having priority, we came to the conclusion that wanting to do everything was going to be very hard. And then ultimately you want to be able to do a good job. And with something like 11 races in 12 weeks, it's not that simple to do a perfect job.
Yeah, and we know that you are staying on in some capacity with the Envision team. Can you tell us a little bit about what that role is going to entail?
We're still trying to figure out exactly what I will do, but in the big lines, it's going to be activations with our new title sponsor that we've just announced, simulator work, maybe some kind of testing, and I'll attend a few races to help the drivers and the team.
And obviously, because this is it. Both you and Lucas are departing at the end of this season. You're the last two who were on the grid in Beijing in race 1, and you had such a fantastic fight throughout Gen 1. It's going to be weird without you two on the grid. Can you just share a couple memories of you two battling it out throughout the years?
Yeah, I guess it was nice to be there at the first race. Obviously, I don't feel emotional in any way. Again, often said I'm going to be racing in 3 weeks' time in Austin, and ultimately, we've had some good fights. In season 2, 3, a bit less lately. We were not the best friends, but now I think we went past that, and we understand each other quite well. And I wish him all the very best. But Gen 1 feels like a long time ago, and of course we did have some good fights, but we move on, and that's just a part of my career, and I'll obviously focus on work from Monday onward.
Right, cheers, sir. Thank you.
How are you going into London? Have you set any expectation for yourself going in the next 2 rounds? Because obviously you've done really well, and you are still in the lead by 3 points for the Rookie of the Year. And how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, obviously for the last race of the season, we have other jobs than that. I think we really need to try to help the team and Jake. So honestly, the rookie championship is nice, and hopefully I can keep going there. But yeah, I mean it's all going well for me, and hopefully we can finish on a high and hopefully on the top 10 of the championship.
And how are you going to achieve that in the next 2 races, and how are you going to build yourself strategically through the field?
Honestly, we just need to qualify it as best as we can, and then from there we're going to build a strategy. But we have already many scenarios, but we don't know which one we're going to use it before we don't know where I'm starting from.
And obviously you were so close to getting a podium in, I believe it was Sanya, but you got demoted. Yeah, and then you got demoted. And how do you feel about that? Is that is that one of the regrets that you've had this season?
Becoming a world champion is also
It was really unfortunate.
It is. Yeah, I think things I'm really upset is the first half of the season. We should have scored many points there and not just 5 less points. Because if I calculate all the ifs of the season, I'll be leading the championship. So I don't know. So yeah, it is what it is.
And it'll be the first time that you're racing in London in an electric car. Do you feel comfortable already?
Sorry.
How do you feel comfortable? Because obviously this will be your first time in a Formula E car in London, and how are you feeling?
Yeah, it's a tough circuit, different than anything I'm used to. So yeah, I think it's just doing the job that I've done in every single track this year. All of them are new tracks for me. So yeah, basically all the same.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Pepe, end of your first full season in Formula E. You've got a couple of podiums to show for it as well. How do you reflect on this first full campaign?
Well, relatively positively. I mean, obviously, like you said, we've had 2 podiums, which is it was really unprecedented. Sorry, we didn't expect unexpected success. But honestly, you look at the performance we've had throughout the season, how especially our race pace has developed. It feels like we could have had a bit more. So yeah, it's been a good rookie season. We didn't really expect to be fighting for podiums and to get 2, but we obviously want a bit more.
And going into this weekend, do you think this is a track that kind of suits the car? Because obviously Dan got a pole here last season. Do you think that duels are on the cards? The qualifying is so important around here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the target to get into duels twice this weekend. It's something I've struggled with clearly, and I think especially around Tokyo, where in that second day I felt a lot more confident. I hit the wall in that second lap, and I missed out on the duels by less than a tenth. So it's definitely on cards. It's something the target for me this weekend, and yeah, qualifying is definitely the main part to really get right this weekend. So we're going to try and focus on that and try to get the duels, and yeah, we'll work from there.
Right, cheers, bye.
So I'm assuming you're still on a high from Tokyo, and I'm sure that you'll want to bring it into this weekend, where another place that you've been brilliant at.
Yeah, on paper we're pretty strong here, have been in the past, obviously pole last year. The high was extinguished pretty quickly really, because I don't know if I'm going to be here next year. So yeah, I'm more worried about that, to be honest. So yeah, it's not the nicest position to be in. Racing drivers, a few times in their career find themselves in this position, so it's not like I'm the only one, but yeah, but I am looking forward to this race. Yeah.
Talking about your future, because in Tokyo you told me that maybe in London you'll have a better idea. Sounds like maybe not so much.
I don't know at the moment. No, there's a few things that are, like I say, out of my control, and it'll all play out quite soon, though. Yeah.
But surely another good weekend, good qualifying, a good race result. I'm sure you're probably not too worried about the championship. It's more just drive for yourself and get the best result possible to prove your worth.
Absolutely. It will help. I think I've proved more than enough in my career, to be honest. But yeah, obviously a good result here will help for sure.
Best of luck for this weekend.
Taylor, final race of the season. How are you feeling?
Excited and a bit emotional. There's definitely a lot of last this weekend. It's the last race for the Gen 3.5, last of the XL and last of the DS brand in Formula E, so lots of lasts. But I think it's a great opportunity to finish on a high for all of those different reasons. Me and the team have been working super hard in the sim and doing all the preparation before the weekend, so I hope we can end it on a high.
And obviously this will be your last chance to score points for DS, and you've been always really good in qualifying, but it's really hard to overtake an XL. So how are you going to maximize tomorrow and the free practice today?
Qualify well. I think that's the best way.
Awesome. And do you put any expectation for yourself in the next 2 rounds?
Expectations are difficult in this championship, and I always say, this track should or shouldn't suit our powertrain, and Tokyo was not supposed to suit our car, but it was probably one of the best performing weekends we've had, so I think I'm going to throw the predictions away and just do the best that we can.
Awesome. And are you already looking forward to the Gen 4 car?
Well, I've not been able to drive it yet, but it looks awesome. From what all the drivers and teams say, it's going to be spectacular, so I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Thank you so much and have a good weekend.
So the final time, now that you're actually here and it is the final weekend, how does it feel?
Feels good. Feels a bit of mixed emotions of something that I decided long ago that was going to happen, but when the date comes, it's always tricky to think. No, it's at the end of a chapter, so it's hard to. It's sad, even if it was a decision that I took.
Yeah.
But look, I have to look back and be. The only way I see this is I look back and I'm proud of what we achieved, what all the amazing those 12 years has been, how lucky I am to have had this opportunity to do what I loved for so long and to be able to be part of the history of Formula E. So I have zero regrets on all of these 12 years, and I'm very grateful of all of that.
I don't know if you can divulge into what the next chapter is for Lucas Di Grassi. I'm assuming it's in Formula E in some shape or form, because I know how much you love this like I do. So anything that you can divulge without saying what it is?
Well, I will be around Formula E. I'm still not sure 100% which function. But yeah, there is a lot of opportunities here to do. There is a lot of things that needs to be pushed further. There's a big opportunity now with Gen 4, with Disney, with everything going around. So yeah, I think that we are in a good inflection point of the championship, and definitely I'll be around to use this or to work on it for the future.
And finally from me, I just want a word on, because obviously the news came out about Sebastian Buemi, which maybe shocked 1 or 2 people, but obviously someone who came into the series review who you were incredibly competitive with. Like, what words can you say about Sebastian Buemi in terms of, the fight and the battles that you two had, reminiscing about your time in Formula E?
Yeah, when I saw the news, I saw it yesterday morning as well. I didn't know at all. It was not on my radar. And then suddenly I saw it. I just sent him a message saying how big honor it was to race with him and how much I respect him as a driver. And it has been great to. I think my biggest competitors, especially over the years, were Seb and Jev. For so long, we'll be battling each other for 12 years now. So it's always good to have somebody at that level pushing you more and more. So I respect all of them, and I'm sad and happy for his decision to stop.
Thank you very much, Lucas. Norman, lovely to see you. I do feel like every time we get to London, though, we're talking a little bit about your future. What can you digress about? Do you reckon you could still be in the Formula E grid in some way, shape or form next season?
No, to be honest, it's been decided quite a long time ago already, early in the season, that with the calendar, which is quite uncertain next year, and also the fact that I've 2 years ago already took the decision to have priority in WEC, for me, honestly, was the extra season I could in Formula E was kind of bonus, and I really enjoyed it. Honestly, like, it's a championship I will miss. I had so many good years. Technically, I have good friends as well in the paddock, so yeah, for sure I will miss driving in Formula E, but it's also like a decision I took some time ago for my career in the past, and also something we kind of agree with Nissan some time ago when I came back to the team, where we were on 1 year contract, and year after year we're looking at the situation and see what was the best for them and for me, and yeah, as we see, like, in the future it start to be quite busy. And yeah, my target was where I see my future, where I see that the championship would fit me the most. It's been endurance racing, so yeah, that's why, honestly, like, no regret, all chill with the decision, and yeah, so like I'm pretty it's pretty clear for me for some time already what's going to be my future, so no problem at all.
Yeah. So just finishing off then on a good weekend and maybe helping Ollie wherever, maybe to help get the championship.
Well, not just say have a good last weekend. Performance is always like the key point. You know, I'm here to help the team, but also to enjoy my last weekend in single seater or in Formula E. So yeah, I will do my best. I really want to score big points and finish on a high. To help or not, at the end, like, everyone is talking about helping the teammate and this kind of thing, but the reality is that in London the qualifying will be so important. So the best you can do already to help the team is to try to do good qualifying, because we know that it's going to be quite eventful race where a lot of will happen. So yeah, we'll try as always to start at the front, and from there see what we can do.